as you can see, it's nice and bright out. It's early morning. We're traveling east.
Bright lights, bright lights!
And the sun is just cutting because there's very little cloud cover. And just wondering, what do you prefer to travel? Does it matter time of day, direction? Do you like traveling with the sun or against the sun? Trying to travel with the sun on the opposite side of the trailer from the fridge, because while we're traveling it doesn't heat up. Also, I don't like traveling directly into the sun, so that would have an impact on time of day that we leave, depending on direction of travel, of course. North, south, east, west, where's the sun at? How about you? What do you think?
What things do you consider when you are planning a trip?
The main thing is if we are going from A to B and we're going to spend some time, like a week or 2 weeks in one spot, we'll just beeline it. We might travel 6, 7, 8 hours in a day, or actually 9 if you consider our property one of those trips, which it is. If we're doing a roundabout visit to multiple places over a 2 or 3 week period, then I think 3 to 6 hour travel days are sufficient, because there's less recoup time. You can do, like, spend 2 days in one spot, drive for 3 or 4 or 5 hours, spend a couple days in another spot, 3, 4, 5 hours, then spend another couple days somewhere. So those are my main I guess parameters for driving for travel days. The other big things would be, where is the sun located during our trip? If we are traveling east and we're heading into the sun, I don't like to drive directly into the sun for obvious reasons. I would want the fridge to be in the shade most of the day if possible, especially on hotter days in the summer when you're getting up into the 25, 30, 35 degrees Celsius, which is pretty much over 80 Fahrenheit. I like the sun to be in the shade as long as possible, so it's not working as hard, it keeps things cooler longer, and there's no issues with it. So if we're traveling east, I would like the sun to be going over the passenger side of the vehicle. That way it gives the fridge a rest, and like I said, if we're driving directly into the sun on an early morning, I would like to leave before the sun comes up or after the sun has come up. Say 8, 9, 10 o'clock, once the sun is actually up in the sky, so we're not driving directly into the sunlight. That's a huge factor for me. And
different times of year, I mean, the sun comes up earlier, depending on what time of year.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Because when I went to the cabin in April, I had the sun glaring in my face all the way from basically here, or just after I left here, until I got into the mountains. And
that's a good 2 hours.
It wasn't great.
Yeah, that's hard on the eyes. Especially if you're doing a 9-hour travel day.
What about the weather? As far as your travel day, what do you like? What if it's torrential downpour the whole day?
Torrential downpour is actually, in my opinion, it's good for the equipment, the truck and the trailer, the tires, the brakes, and it's actually preferred by me to travel during wet days. That way there's less stress on the vehicles and me. As far as traveling during hot days, those are the days that I like to keep shorter. If we're traveling in really, really hot temperatures, I like to drive for no longer than 2 hours at a shot, give the vehicles a rest, and then continue on. Because that's usually going to be a shorter travel day, like no more than 4 hours when it's really hot. So it's just the little things that you have to think about. Sure, the truck and trailer may be able to handle it. You might have a brand new rig and a brand new truck, but the weather does affect them.
And there's also that breaking in period too.
Yes, of course.
When we're planning our trips and thinking about this is where we're going, this is how long we want to take to get there. If it's somewhere far away and that's our big rock, then we're going to plan our stops along the way. And we'll also consider like what is our time frame to get there.
Yeah, if we're looking to go to, say, in a 2-week period, we're looking at 3 large rocks, 3 main places that we're going to go. We try and space out the travel days. Say the first one might be 10 hours away. I would break that up into 2 days. So a couple of 5-day travel days, that is actually key. And then the next one might be a 4-hour travel day. And then one after that might be 2 hours, might be 6 hours.
Yeah.
So it all depends on what you're comfortable with, how you like to travel, whether it's in the scorching sun or in the rain or the snow, or, well, nobody likes to drive in the snow. But it all depends on what you're comfortable with. If you don't mind driving, you can go for 6 or 8 hours at a shot. All the power to you. But you also have to think of what the vehicles are going through, what your pets are going through, and if you're taking enough time to actually have breaks for everybody included.
The dogs are pretty good at going pretty much a straight shot from here to
Yes, our
Bay.
dogs are good. They're used to it. But there's some dogs out there, when your dog gets older on,
they need more stops.
they need more stops. They need a little walk. They need a water break. They need to get out and stretch their legs.
You know, and for us too is like, did the dogs take care of business before you left in the morning, or do we need to take that into consideration?
Yeah.
For this trip that we have coming up, that we're going to be preparing for, we are actually taking a detour because Kelly, who is helping us to do the work at the cabin,
He's my middle son.
and he doesn't have a car, so we said, okay, we'll pick you up. So it's adding an hour to our drive, but then so that's going to make it a 10-hour day. So I have to work on the Friday, so we decided, so we're not driving into the sun at 6 o'clock in the morning between here and Hope. We decided to leave after my shift on Friday evening.
So this will be, I think, our 2nd or 3rd trip that we're actually leaving at night. And that way we won't have to deal with the sun.
Yeah.
The trip from here to Salmon Arm is roughly 4 to 4.5 hours. So that's a nice short shot. And then from Salmon Arm to our property is about another 5 hours, I believe, after that. So instead of a 1
Depending
10-hour...
on how you hit the ferries.
Yeah, true enough, because there's a couple ferries on that route as well, on Arrow Lakes and Kootenai Lake.
Yeah, so we decided instead of leaving crazy early on Saturday morning, let's do the first leg in the evening and when it's cool and outside. And
Which,
that.
in my opinion, that's great for the truck. And well, we just have to remember that the V on the front of the trailer has to go out.
Yes, Brent.
We tried traveling with it before, and I actually had to pull over and
Turn it off.
yeah, turned it off before a Soyuz. I
Yeah.
think it was around Manning Park, because it was basically like somebody was behind us with high beams.
That's annoying.
Also, if you have any comments on how you like to travel, morning, noon, night, into the sun, away from the sun, east, west, north, south, put it in the comments down below. Let us know what you're thinking.
All right, well, that pretty much wraps up what we want to talk about today.
Give us a thumbs up if you like what you see.
Don't forget to subscribe.
Ring that bell for notifications.
Bye-bye for now.
Well, you can see, the sun is directly in our eyes, so we are traveling east, and it is early morning.
Okay. Trying to see if we were both on the screen. Yep. So, what are the things you consider when you're planning your trip?
Well, a lot of the things, it depends on if we're... Like I said earlier, the fridge is on the driver's side of our trailer, and if I'm traveling west and the sun's in our eyes, it'll be coming up and it'll be going over the passenger side of the trailer.
Sunrise is in the east,
Oh, I was traveling west.
yeah. Start that again.
Okay, cut.
When we're planning our trips, and
Sorry, we're starting to get as well.